guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about what Monat actually does to your hair and what you can do in return to help the whole process out. Now to do this, I could just talk and use my words and give you like some graphics, but I'm going to do a visual because I work best with visual aids. I'm a visual kind of person, so we're going to do a little visual demo today. So what we're going to do is pretend like this is your hair. This little string right here is your hair. You're born with hair, maybe not, but your hair grows out. As you get older, you start to do stuff to your hair. You use some styling products on it. You pull it up here and there. You use rubber bands, you use hairspray. You go outside, you play. You're out in the sun all the time. You're outside in general. So there's all the elements of the outside that can get onto it, all the pollutants. Then you start to use stuff on it. You start to possibly dye it. Maybe you want to go a little crazy and you're like, you know what? I'm blonde and I want red hair. Or maybe you're a redhead and you're like, I'm ready to be a brunette. And you try that for a little bit, so you dye it. But then you're like, I'm totally over it. I don't want to do it anymore. So you dye it back again. Then you get some highlights, because highlights always are nice, right? You have all these things that we're doing to our hair. We're doing all these chemical processes, or maybe not. Maybe you have never ever dyed your hair or done anything, but you know, you like to curl it every once in a while, so you do a curling iron on it or a flat iron. Those of you who are children of the 90s, stick straight hair was all the rage. Like everybody had straight hair. So even if you're naturally curly, you flat ironed your hair or did it with a regular iron. Does anyone remember that? People used like regular irons that you iron your clothes with to iron your hair. You're doing all these things to it. Well, your hair's starting to look not so great, right? This isn't very good hair anymore. So what do? You go to the store and you get products. And you're like, okay, this shampoo says that it's smoothing and my hair's pretty dry. So I'm gonna put this smoothing shampoo on it. And it works okay, but you keep doing stuff. You keep blow drying it, you keep dyeing it, you keep going outside as natural people do. So you keep adding stuff onto it. And now you're doing a smoothing serum. You're like, hey, this oil says it gets rid of frizz. And you know what? My hair's starting to feel a little better. And you do that year after year. You add more and more things to it. And maybe you even go to professional products and you get things and you're like, hey, this is really good stuff because this is professional products. And look at my hair. Look how awesome it is. Can you see how shiny it is? Can you see how smooth it feels? My hair is amazing now and I have totally healed and repaired and I can keep doing stuff. And you keep doing stuff and you keep adding layers and layers of stuff to it. Well, your hair's not actually awesome. It may seem awesome, but it's not. Your hair really is a bunch of buildup and stuff. So this is where Monat comes in. Monat comes in and goes, hey, we don't have parabens. We don't have sulfates. We don't have silicones. That all of this is all the things you've been adding years after years. So what Monat does is it starts to strip it away. It starts to take it away a little bit. And you may use it in your first wash and you're like, yeah, my hair smells great, feels pretty good. You know, not too big of a difference. And someone's like, just try it for 30 days because it's 30-day money back guarantee. And you're like, all right, I'll try it. So you're trying it. And Monat is slowly removing the buildup. It's getting all the stuff off really slow. And at first, it may not seem like a big deal. But then pretty soon you're like, my hair's kind of gross. Look at that. My hair's a little gross. And your market partner says, keep going, keep using it. And you're like, all right. So you keep going and you keep using it. And you keep stripping away the stuff. And what I have found is it's generally around the 3 to 5 month mark that you get this buildup is really hard to get off. That's why sometimes it takes up to 5 months. You get all this buildup off, right? You get it all off and you go, my hair sucks. You've told me to use this Monat and I've been using it for months now and my hair's terrible. Matter of fact, it's the worst it's been ever. You're right. This is your actual hair. This hair has always been like this. You just didn't know it because you had it covered. For all these years, it was covered with all this stuff. And now you expose it and you're like, wait, this is awful. It is. This is awful hair. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the good news. This is where it gets better. This is where you continue to use Monat, and Monat is infused with Rejuvenique oil, or maybe you're just using even Rejuvenique oil. Rejuvenique oil is not like other oils. It's patent pending because of its molecular size. It doesn't sit on top. The oil isn't gonna just sit on here like another layer. It's small enough molecularly to penetrate your hair shaft. It goes into it, and you know what it does? It repairs it, and it heals it, and you start using it a little more, and you're like, oh, this is getting a little better. And if your hair's really dry, you go, oh, I've been using the hydration line and the Renew and the mask, and my hair's starting to feel silky. Or if it was really oily, you're using the black or the volume line, and you're like, hey, I'm not so greasy anymore. And it takes time. That's the biggest key. This takes time. I can't tell you how long. I don't know how long you are putting this on your hair. Everybody is different, and that's so important to remember. Everyone is going to go through this whole transition so differently. Some people may do it for a day. Some people may do it for a week. Some people may do it for months. I generally find it's a 3 to 5 month range where you get to this. But how long this takes to get it off, everyone varies. And how long it takes to get this better, everybody varies. But it does get better. There are some cases where you have done damage for so long, and this poor little guy has been suffocated for so many years that you can't. You just, these are gone. They're gonzo, and they're not gonna get back, and they just can't heal. It's okay. It's okay, because sometimes you just gotta let it go. If I could cut. You gotta cut it off. And then look, suddenly, you've got good hair. And not, you think you have good hair, you actually have good hair. And it is strong, and it is healthy, and it is shiny, and it is vibrant, and you can dye it, and it holds the color so much longer. Here's where you need to be careful though with hair dye. You can dye it. You can dye this, and you can do chemical processes to it. But because you're actually at real hair and you're not getting through any of this, you need to have a lower developer. You need to, or you need to tell your stylist, try using a little bit lower of a developer, because you don't have to process this quite so hard. And you will find a lot of times that your hair dye will actually stay longer and not fade as fast because you're dyeing your hair now. You're not dyeing layers. You're putting dye on this, it washes out, it fades. You put dye on this, it's on your hair. It's just like your roots. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. If you have grow out and you dye it, your roots will usually go a different color than the rest of your hair. Because the rest of your hair had this, but not anymore because you're using Monat. So what can you do? Let me tell you what you need to do with this. This is baby hair, and you'll get it out and you'll start to nourish it and you'll start to repair it. You need to be so gentle. You need to be so kind to it. I like to compare it to acrylic nails. Have you ever, any of you ever done acrylic nails? So you put them on, you've got the fake nails, you put it over, they look great, they're awesome, you're like scratching people's backs, you've got these pretty long nails, but pretty soon, if you're like me, you're like, I can't deal with these. It's harder to type, I can't put on my makeup as well. If you have contacts, that's really hard with acrylic nails. So you get them off. You take the acrylic nails off. What's your real nail like underneath that acrylic nail? Have you noticed? It's pretty hammered. It also has been suffocating. It flakes a lot, it bends really easy, they peel, they've had no nourishment. Your real nails are so damaged, usually. You can bend them, you can't scratch people's backs, so what do you have to do? Do you just put acrylic nails back on? Well, you can. Or you baby them. You're really gentle with your nails. You're careful. It's the same with this hair. You have to be so gentle and careful with him. Heat, you need to turn it down. Heat will burn this now. You are not trying to flat iron or curl or go through layers of buildup. That's why, have you noticed heating tools go up to like 450 degrees now? That's so hot. It's because they have to get through all this to curl it or straighten whatever's underneath. You don't have that. You don't have anything to go through. Make sure your heating tools are at about 300, maybe 325, but try not to go any higher than that because you will burn it. Hair burns at the same temperature as paper. Did you know that? You've got to be so gentle and careful with your heat, on your heating tools, on your blow dryer, even the water temperature you're using. Try not to wash your hair in hot water. Warm's fine, cool is best, but try to be careful. Baby it and be gentle. Don't brush it hard. Don't pull it up in the same style every day, because putting a rubber band on this little baby hair in the same spot, that's gonna be a little too much for him. You've gotta be careful. Sleep on a silk pillowcase. That's so much gentler on these. When you're drying your hair, use a microfiber towel or a cotton t-shirt and never ever rub it. When your hair is wet, it's so fragile. Be careful. Use wet brushes. Use wide tooth combs. Use a little common sense because we're not very nice to our hair. It's not something we're taught. I mean, we know not to be crazy with it, but we're not taught to be as gentle as we should be. And especially when you're in these phases, when you're in these new baby phases of trying to repair and heal it, be so gentle. So 2 things you need to remember. This takes time, but it is so worth it. When you get here, when you get good, strong hair, it is worth it. And you're not using the harsh chemicals. You are using plant-based products that are anti-aging. So this is gonna be good for the rest of your life, and it's gonna keep it good for the rest of your life if you use it properly. And baby it. Give it time, take care of it, be gentle. Thank you for joining me and putting up with this demo. I hope you learned something. If nothing else, this works. Give it time, it works. Be nice to your hair. Hello? Hi. Okay, we're gonna attempt this. What are you doing, sweetie? Thank you.
So much work.
Oh, you are. Thank you, Cinderella. Thank you. Okay, go upstairs. Go upstairs and shut the door. Thank you. Oh, what a worry. Well, that looks funny now. Does that always look that funny? I need someone back there telling me your hair looks a little weird. Making a hair video. Probably shouldn't have weird hair. We're gonna have to cut right there because I don't know how to end this.